Well, I said I wasn't going to keep watching the feeds today, but I did, unfortunately for me, although I had to stop several different times. But if I'm going to force myself to watch these dummies, then I'm going to have to vent about them as well. And I have more to say about our current idiot HOH who used the power to be HOH and now is making everything so overly complicated for her own game. It's so cringe and hard to watch, but here we are. And then, after watching Sunday night's episode, which I usually don't watch Sunday episodes because I hate the editing on this show in general, but after watching Sunday night's episode, I'm even more confused. Like, I understand Mickey this week even less. We learned from the episode, we knew that Zach told Mickey after she stole the HOH that he told her that Riley was going to put up her, Morgan, and Ashley. But he also told her before she used her HOH power. Mickey has all this information about Riley, how he was coming after her. I don't understand how the dynamic has shifted so far right where she just thinks she can work with Riley and Kat over Jimmy now. And then after I recorded my video Sunday afternoon, I put the feeds back on, and here's Rachel trying to soft quit the game. At first, she's bringing up that Mickey should actually maybe go after Ava, and I'm just sitting there thinking, now why is Ava in it? Like, everything's already going bad. Why is Rachel now trying to get out Ava out of nowhere, who she has a pretty good final two with? But it turns out Rachel was using Ava as a keyword or like a code word for herself because last night, as I discussed in my last video, she figured out because of Ashley that everyone's making this jury and that Morgan and Mickey are one of the people or some of the people that want Rachel to be the first juror, and Rachel doesn't want to sit in jury for 5 weeks. So she was trying to maybe say that if Mickey's not going to make a big move against Vince, then maybe she should go against Ava, meaning herself, because that's a big move as well. So that was very frustrating. Although I get Rachel's frustration having to play with this cast that has not a single clue what they're doing. Not that Rachel has ever been this amazing strategist by any means, but I would have a hard time playing with these dummies too, so I understand Rachel's pain, but I was also pretty annoyed that Rachel wants to soft quit. Like, you signed up to play again, and you're kind of going out sad if you're wanting to quit early on. To get away from Mickey for just 1 second, and kind of shit on Morgan too, because she deserves it as well, although Mickey's been the one annoying me more today. Zach has been telling Lauren that Morgan might come for her because Zach sees Morgan's jealousy streak where himself is concerned and where Lauren is concerned. So here is Morgan, who continues to say that if it came down to choosing Vince or Zach, she would choose Zach. Morgan is going to choose Vince and Zach over Mickey when the time comes. You can just tell by how many times she's trying to defend either Vince or Zach all day long. And Mickey was catching on to this until she became HOH. I don't know what happened. I think maybe because she realizes that Morgan tried to help her use this power. She didn't rat out her power. Maybe she thinks she could really trust Morgan. But yeah, I know Zach got like this really good, like they went out of their way to give Zach a really good edit for the Sunday night episode. But I'm still having a very hard time respecting his game. His flirting is top notch. It's getting him through the game. His game sense overall, I still can't get over the fact that it took Ava at the last minute to paint the picture for Zach about the kind of game he's been playing. And it does annoy me that Zach stays telling everyone that he can't stand Ashley or that Ashley gets on his nerves, but he's the one that always seeks Ashley out and is all up in her face all the time. It's Zach that seeks her out. If these people had enough clues and paid more attention to Zach like they do Vinny, they would see the type of game Zach is playing, but they haven't. I mean, Vince is playing so out in the open and they don't want to do anything about it. So by the time they catch on to Zach, I highly doubt they're going to do anything about that as well. Zach also finally reiterated to Morgan today that Riley was going to put up her, Mickey, and Ashley. But that hasn't changed the dim-witted minds of Mickey and Morgan. Vince even went up to talk to the HOH today. Vince told Mickey how could they be sure that Riley and Kat would keep Mickey safe. Vince, who has the logic, one of the few people in the house that has logic, is trying to tell Mickey that people are going to tell her what she wants to hear because she's the HOH. But that didn't get through to Mickey. Mickey, as I said in my last video, only hears what she wants to hear right now. And what she wants to hear right now is Jimmy bad. And that people would vote Jimmy out if she puts Jimmy on the block. In that conversation between Vince and Mickey, Vince says that Vince jumped on the bandwagon because Vince doesn't want to get put up. So, of course, he's going to jump on the Jimmy bandwagon, saying that they could expose Jimmy if Jimmy goes up on the block. If Jimmy causes a ruckus and tries to throw the heavy hitters under the bus, Jimmy's working with so many people. Vince says we could ask everyone to raise their hand and ask who's working with Jimmy. The problem is Jimmy doesn't have these alliances technically. Jimmy is playing the fluid game. I don't know if as many people would raise their hand as Vince thinks. But what Vince really was doing in that conversation was giving Mickey the game plan of what to do to Vince's game. If she were to put up Vince, they could ask anyone to raise their hand if Vince has an alliance with them. If Vince has a final three with them, plenty of people would raise their hand. But I don't think Mickey picked up on that because she only hears what she wants to hear. And like I said, as HOH, of course people are going to tell her what she wants to hear. Vince told her this, and yet she is listening to people that she has not been working with at all, like the Rileys, like the Cats, who doesn't give her anything anyway. She's listening to people she hasn't been working with over the people she has been working with. It's been so frustrating. Somehow this week, Keanu has transferred all of his delusions to Mickey. Mickey is thinking that all of the people she put up this week are going to keep her safe. Keanu's going to have her back after this, and maybe he will. He talked things out with Mickey and Morgan yesterday. Maybe he will. But she also thinks Callie's going to have her back if Callie stays. Callie is not fucking with Mickey at all. So that's wrong. And she thinks Riley's going to keep her safe. Maybe somehow he will for now. But the delusions that Mickey has right now, it's crazy. I really don't understand it. Mickey has gone so far off the rails that she thinks that Vince would choose her over Lauren, and I have no idea where she gets this thinking from. Her and Vince don't have it like that. They are not this close working together duo. Then Mickey's going around acting like, oh, Jimmy's being weird with me. It's like he doesn't trust me. As if she's not being weird with him, and he shouldn't trust her. He shouldn't trust her. And she's not talking to him. I mean, she finally did, which we're going to get to. But her thinking this week is just dumb. It's so dumb. She must have saw Keanu and Kelly playing the dumbest games this season, and she said, hold my White Claw. I'm about to play even dumber than them. And right now, Mickey is the dumbest in the house. She might be surpassing all of Keanu's delusions for sure. At one point, Mickey also said, if this wasn't Riley's HOH, I would have sent Catherine home for sure. Mickey, it's not Riley's HOH. You stole his HOH. I guess this is her emotions getting in the way that she really feels bad for everything that happened to Riley. If these people would stop babying the aggressive nitwit that is Riley, maybe we could actually get somewhere, but they refuse to do that. But Mickey is giving all this grace to the man that yelled at her so much on Sunday's episode, that we didn't see on feeds, but we heard about. But she won't give a real conversation to Jimmy, who was like one of her closest allies this whole game so far. It is just stupid. So stupid. And I just know that when she likely probably does put up Jimmy, and they eventually have a real talk where she actually listens on like Tuesday or Wednesday, she's going to feel dumb. She might change her mind, but by that point it might be too late. That's always what happens with dumb HOHs that put up someone that they allied with and are allied with, but won't give them a conversation before doing it. The funniest thing to me is that Vince has been spiraling all day because Vince can't get in his mind what Mickey is doing. He thinks it's so insane that Mickey would put up Jimmy that he thinks it's a cover that he's really about to be put up. That is how stupid Mickey sounds to anyone with logic. And Rachel, Ashley, they've tried to talk to Mickey tonight. They have tried to get it in Mickey's mind that they should go for Vince, but she's just not doing it. She, as I said in my last video, she thinks that's going to be something that blows up her game, but not Jimmy, her ally, going up on the block is going to blow up her game. Ava tried to lightly push Vince as well, but Mickey just wants to hear just a little bit of agreement that Vince would be a good move. And unfortunately, Ashley, Rachel, and even Ava have kind of give it like, yeah, putting up Jimmy would be a big move, but they're not telling her it would be a dumb move as well. So I guess it really is headache inducing. It really is infuriating. And then Mickey and Morgan, they did finally have a sit down with Jimmy, but it was like an interrogation of Jimmy. And I know Jimmy had to have felt it in that conversation where they're basically grilling him about Keanu. He realizes that they think that he threw them under the bus to Keanu. And that's not a fact. I guess Keanu really has played them this week. They got played by the most delusional person in the game. I will say right before recording this, Vince is spiraling. He thinks he should blow up Jimmy's game and cause a huge fight. He really thinks he's going to be the person put up because it's so stupid that Mickey would put up Jimmy. That might be the thing that gets Vince put up if he causes a big ordeal before Mickey has to put up a renom. So we'll see if Vince does that. But anything else, I don't think anything else is going to put up or stop Mickey from putting up Jimmy. I'm hoping that Jimmy did feel something when two of his closest allies, Mickey and Morgan, are grilling him basically and not really listening to him. It was pretty clear in that conversation. I'm hoping Jimmy can at least talk to Rachel or someone tonight to at least come up with a game plan. Maybe Rachel will finally tell Jimmy. Nobody's telling Jimmy anything. One of the stupidest statements today by Mickey, and there's been so many, but one of the stupidest statements is that she's telling Rachel she needs to put up Jimmy because clearly Jimmy's working with the whole house, but at the same time she's saying all these people she's talking to are saying Jimmy's name. So how is Jimmy working with the whole house if people are okay with him being put up? The math is not mathing, as the kids say, and this HOH is not HOHing. We'll see what comes of the noms tomorrow, if it is Jimmy, if Vince causes a ruckus before all of that. I hope Vince keeps spiraling because that might hurt his chances. But I also hope Jimmy spirals if he is the nomination. He needs to cause some havoc. I want Jimmy to stay for maximum chaos. And of course I want Riley to go, but I will say that Mickey and Morgan have pissed me off so much these past 2 days. They have risen so high on the people that I want out. They are up there with Riley and Kat now as the people I want out soon. And the fact that Mickey and Morgan just can't stop talking about jury, even though it's so far away, at least one of them needs to be out before jury.